There's a growing consensus among European countries that they can no longer rely on the U.S. for security as they have in the past. But here in Hungary, a senior government official tells me NATO remains the alpha and the omega of their security.
Here at the Szolnok airfield, Hungary's special ops and airmen practice air assaults, reconnaissance, and dirty bomb detection. U.S. troops were here in the spring for joint NATO exercises. Countries like Hungary, once under the boot of the Soviet Union, have unique appreciation for NATO.
We will now proceed
Under the boot of the Soviet Union, have unique appreciation for NATO's protective power.
They lived under that authoritarianism. They have no illusions about the intentions of Vladimir Putin and the gang in the Kremlin.
Veteran Bradley Bowman serves as senior director of the Center on Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies.
I view NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, as the most successful alliance in modern history.
That's because it's worked. True to its mission, the pact has deterred the Soviet Union and now Russia from attacking NATO countries. The alliance has grown, now including 30 nations, and its potential power is wrapped up in this agreement. An armed attack against one or more member nations in Europe or North America shall be considered an attack against them all. An ironclad partnership demonstrated after the 9/11 attack.
Great Britain, Canada, Australia, Germany, and France have pledged forces.
NATO allies fought and died alongside U.S. troops in Afghanistan from start to finish.
And if anything, the challenges we see in the Asia-Pacific, the rise of China, just makes it even more important that Europe and North America stand together in NATO.
Not to mention the ongoing threat from Russia.
Once again, we see a resurgent Russia that is undertaking a massive military modernization effort, is behaving aggressively in space and cyberspace on the eastern flank of the NATO alliance in the Arctic, pretty much everywhere you look. And any successful response, in my view, to that aggressive posturing by Moscow must include a unified NATO.
While the NATO alliance remains firm, today there's talk of a European-based security force in Brussels.
Has the U.S. become a less reliable partner for Europe in terms of its security needs?
One of the many great, just sad tragedies of the Afghanistan withdrawal is that we gave Moscow and Beijing a really additional credible talking point to reinforce what they've been saying already, and that is America is unreliable.
One senior Hungarian official tells me when it came to getting their Afghan partners out of the country, we had more cooperation from the Taliban than our American allies in many ways. A major stumble that's convinced more countries of the need to upgrade European security. For the most part, U.S. leaders are expressing support.
Just say that we certainly support a stronger and more capable European defense, and one that contributes positively to the transatlantic and global security that's compatible with NATO.
Compatible, Bowman says, is key. Hungary is working to increase defense spending to 2% of its GDP by 2024. 19 of the 30 NATO countries fail to meet the standard. Given countries already struggle with these goals, then creating redundancies with a European force could play into the hands of Putin.
I want Europe to be a net producer, not consumer of security. So if European countries are building military capability, and ideally they're doing that in an integrated and coordinated way. Like, I don't need more German tank brigades or tank battalions, right? I don't need it. I don't need a single additional German tank. And it'd be nice if the Germans want to send a vessel if they can to the Indo-Pacific, but I really don't care. What I want from Germany is more roads, bridges, ports, and airports, cyber protection, and air defense, so that when Russia does what they're going to do in the Baltics, we can surge forces forward through Germany to get them to the Baltics quickly.
Holy Mary, Mother of
For
God.
NATO, the messiness of American democracy can at times make the alliance feel unstable. In just the past 5 years, President Trump publicly pressured nations to pay their fair share on defense while wavering in his support, calling NATO obsolete. While President Biden renewed America's support, the administration then proposed a U.S. defense budget that doesn't even keep up with inflation.
From a national security perspective, we got to get past this tribalism. We got to get past this idea that the other side is always wrong. And we got to come together and identify common threats and develop policies that can withstand the test of time, that won't be thrown out the next time the other party gets the White House or gets control of Congress, because we're going to hurt ourselves if we do that, and we're going to make ourselves less reliable allies.
After the U.S.-led debacle in Afghanistan, Hungarian officials say NATO countries have much work to do to repair their reputation in the world. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, reporting from the helicopter base in Szolnok, Hungary.